Hello, hello. Excuse me if I'm a bit of being a bit of a jerk and a bit jerky. Um, but I've been converting a video and it's taken bloody ages. I thought it'd be finished by now, but it's taken all the resources from my computer. Hold on, let me just get the music going. Here we go. Come on. There we go. Right. Let's see who's here. Kerry's here. Yolandi. Andrea's here. Hello, Andrea. Mimalek. Marina. Luke. Richard. Dragon of the West. Oh, Dragon of the West. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Yeah. Welcome to the Covenstead. Let's see, Andrea. Where was I? Andrea said, Alistair and Andrea here, a bit of a problem with the keyboard, but here listening, that's okay. Yeah, Kerry, it should scare you. I don't want to discuss politics here, as I said, but it should definitely scare you. There's some shit going down that should not be going down. But anyway, let's talk magic. Everybody just saying hello, 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 hello. Right, okay. I'm just waiting for this bloody... Oh, I think it's finished. Hold on, let me just check. No, it's almost finished. 99.3% there. We will be there just now. When it finishes, it also starts playing the video in my ear, so... It's a bit annoying when I'm trying to talk. Hurry up. Hubris, Happenstance, hello, thanks for joining. Luke, hey, have you ever heard about using elements like you are fire, so you can use this and you can use this to possibly see the truth, for example? Oh yes, absolutely. I mean, working with the elements is similar to working with the spirits. I mean, it's all energy, really. Well, I think it's all energy. So you can pour breathe the elements into yourself, and fill yourself up with the elements themselves. I mean, if you are sitting in snow and you pour breathe fire, and especially if you start doing fire breath and things like that, you usually end up getting so hot that you melt the snow. You know, these are all kind of skills that the yogis and such kind of create. Yeah, pour breathing is one of those standard practices, for me anyway. Okay, it's finished. Let me just stop it all and close it down. Maybe I'll get some resources back to my computer. And hopefully OBS has been behaving itself. So hopefully it does today as well. We don't get disconnected or anything like that. Come on. Give that some time. Yeah, so yeah, Luke, absolutely. It doesn't just need to be the elements either. You can work with the planetary forces. You know, you can work with the energy that you find in a pen. I mean, there's loads and loads of various exercises. I mean, I was taught one where you actually take a pen, and you go into a meditation and you imagine it growing really, really big, bigger and bigger and bigger, and you start going into all the little grooves and stuff that are all in the plastic, and it becomes so big that it becomes like an entire mountain. And then you can explore the pen, you know, and you can draw energy from just a pen. So, you know, this is why I say you don't have to work with spirits. I enjoy working with spirits, but it's not. I don't even work with the spirit model. It's the energy model that I'll work with. You don't have to work with spirits. You can work with various different energies. Kerry Lee, I know you won't want to discuss politics, but Duke Agaris perked up with Friday's happenings. Oh, I'm sure he did. Yeah. James, sorry I'm late. Had to finish a ritual. How's it going? No problem. Absolutely no problem. Glad you're here. So I'm just trying to close stuff down that I need. Okay. Mimalek, I have a question about visualization. I'm trying to teach my mum how to use it, but I may be wrong about it. I instruct her to visualize a thing in her mind like a torty cat with her eyes closed. Yeah, absolutely. A cat might be a bit complex. Try something like a shape. Just take a cube, for instance. Or even start with a square. Just start with a square, give it a color. And this is why, I can't remember the color now, I think it was green, of the Indian tattwas. They represent the elements, but they're also shapes, specific colors. And but yeah, just start with a square, give it a color, and then once she's gotten used to visualizing that, or even just the outline, really to begin with, the outline of a square. Once she gets used to visualizing that, add a color to the square. Once she gets used to that, then, you know, change it into a cube. And once she can see the cube and she can move the cube around and everything else, then she can start thinking of you know, visualizing something like an apple. But start with something really, really basic and simple, something that is like a symbol. The mind does like to work with symbols. So just a square, and the outline of a square, just to start with, is great. Yeah, so cat might be a cat, although a cat does well up emotions, which may be quite well connected with visualization techniques. So you did say actually the cat is her favourite animal and she wants a torty cat. So I kind of tell her that if she tries, she may even attract it. Yeah, absolutely. I guess you're not really building up visualization skills to mastery. It's more, you're talking more about visualization techniques in order to, as in manifestation techniques. Yeah, then absolutely. What you might want to add there is not just the visualization, because it's not just about the visualization. Even when we do things like sigil magic, you know, we put things into the present and we put it into the idea that we have the thing that we're after already. It's not something we are wanting to get. It's not a wish. It's not something that will come tomorrow, because if we keep saying, I will get this tomorrow, I will get this tomorrow, I will get this tomorrow, it's going to be tomorrow the whole time. So you put yourself into a situation with emotions and visualizations and thoughts and everything else where you have the thing. And this plays on the mirror neurons of the brain, and the brain doesn't know the difference between reality and imagination. So if you convince the brain, the mirror neurons, that this is real, that you have this thing, then everything has to shift, and then it comes into existence. It's not easy to do, I know, but it's the principle behind it. So don't just add the visualization of the cat, add the visualization of her petting the cat, holding the cat, smelling the cat, having the cat in her presence, and then see how she goes with that. Kerry said he showed up chatting with me in tarot. Yeah, well, he would do. It's kind of his field of expertise. Luke, sometimes when I'm sad or angry, I feel like this fire inside me burns so much, and it's going up to the universe, etc. I would like to learn how to use this to see true, for example. And you also said it's so interesting, this thing with pen. Also, sometimes while I'm connecting to beings, I'm using this fire to send my energy and make them feel really good. Yeah, I mean, fire is probably one of the, I would say, probably the easiest to connect to, because it's fire, it's heat. It's probably the easiest one to actually feel, because if you think of air, you know, it's a breeze or a wind or something like that, and you can feel that on your skin. But if we think of water, it's that kind of watery sensation that we get on our skin. If we think of earth, it's more of a grounding, solidifying, heavy type of feeling. But fire burns. It's hot. It's the most tactile of the sense, or the elements, I would say. You know, if you go to the extremes of a torrential sea, that can be quite violent, or like standing on the top of a mountain with a storm for air. That gets quite tactile and tangible. But fire is probably one of the easiest, because we heat up, we cool down, we heat up, we cool down. It's usually the one we tend to associate with a lot. So fire is one of the easiest ones to work with. Dragon, are the core of magical power and witchcraft visualization and directing aid power and all these symbols and exercises subjective? Yeah, I'm not really sure how to answer this question. Yes and no. Subjective to the individual person. You know, we all have different levels of visualization techniques. Some people find it more difficult to build up energy. Some people find it difficult to direct energy. So I guess in that sense it would be subjective. Yeah, a bit of a difficult one to actually answer. Just want to reread that just in case I reread it right or read it wrong. I've got core of magical power and witchcraft visualization and directing aid power and all the symbols and exercises subject. So you mentioned symbols there, which has kind of got me, because symbols tend to, although they often become very culturally based, symbols have almost like a primordial connection for everybody. You know, it's a bit like if you see something from some random archaeological dig and it has like particular symbols on it, it just feels familiar somehow. It's because we have that ingrained kind of passes on through our DNA sort of thing. It's, yeah, it's, would that be subjective? Or would that be collective? I'm not sure, really not sure. Yes and no is my final answer. Thank you very much. Mimilek, oh sorry, I've already done that one. Richard, I started with a blue ball, putting it down, and then later coming back to it, absorbing the energy again. Yeah, that's a great one to do. Was that visualization or energy work for it? And was it an actual blue ball, or was it a visualized blue ball? Curious now. Mimilek, well, I did try to explain it to her like this a bit. The cat was the most familiar thing to her. Yeah. Just try and express that it is, it's not just about visualizing the thing. And this is where the secret, the whole stupid thing, kind of missed a whole load of stuff. It's not just imagine something and the universe will give it to you. It's about really being in that particular situation, being it, having it, and feeling all of that. And it's the feeling appreciation that some people find very difficult. I find it very difficult to kind of well up those emotions and kind of immerse yourself in it completely. It can be quite difficult, but that really is the idea that it's not just about picture it or think about it. That was the secret. Think about it, and the universe will give it to you. No, I don't think so. It's about having it, and that includes all your emotions. Better drink my coffee today. I keep forgetting, and it goes cold. Carrie Lee, do you ever fast for a few days? I don't. It's not useful for me. It just doesn't work for me, fasting. So no, I don't. What I might do, if it's something I really need to kind of cleanse my system for, I may go on a soup diet or something like that. But no, not fasting as in just a water diet. Well, I guess it depends what you mean by fasting, actually. But yeah, it might be just a liquid or like a soup diet, something like that. From afar off away, hello, how you doing? Glad you could join. Luke, if someone have exactly the same elements like being deity, does it change anything or make this connection better or understanding? I assume you are talking about you and a deity having the same elemental aspects, and you'll find that you have all of the elements, otherwise you wouldn't actually be here. You consist of all the occult elements and more. You may have an inclination towards or an affinity towards one or more, but you are of all the elements. Now when it comes to the spirits themselves, and it depends what spirits we're talking about, especially if you're talking about the elemental entities, like the sylphs and the salamanders, the water nymphs, all the undines, gnomes, etc., etc. They are very much made of and comprised of the element. So they don't incorporate, they don't have all of the elements within them. They just have that one element, whereas we are solid, physical. So if we can say that. So we have all of the elements. But yeah, I'm not really. I think some people kind of get this. I think Connolly spoke about it once or various times, that the way to find your patron daemon is to go through your astrological chart and see which element is the most prominent, and then kind of tie that into daemons that are associated with that element. I don't really think it works that way myself, personally. If that's what you're talking about, yeah. From afar off away, if I have to get a tooth extraction and get prescription medication, how can I stop ill and negative intentions of the pharmacia? Probably can't. But if you're needing a tooth extraction, it's something you're going to have to go through. You can put up, you can create some talismans and amulets. You can create servitors and wards and all that stuff to try and counteract any negative intentions or negative influences from the medicine itself. But you're going to have to go through it anyway. And, just bear in mind that you're going to have a healing period. It doesn't matter what it is. That healing period is going to be a necessary part of the whole thing. So it's not always about counteracting the negative aspects. It's about bringing yourself through the healing successfully, which has a lot to do. I mean, it's not just negativity. It's infection. It's pain. All of those things. You're going to have to work on everything there. And some of it's physical. Some of it you can do, as I said, set up wards or create a talisman or something like that, just to kind of counter the effects. Richard notes visualize blue ball, creating an item and making it physical in the mind's eye. Yeah, I've actually heard that exercise before. Yolanda, you should get a thermal mug to keep your should get a whole liter thermos, and then I'll have enough coffee to carry on drinking for the whole show. I must get one of those mugs because lately I just keep making coffee and it goes cold. Kerry, I did the water diet for 2 days, dropped 8 pounds in water weight to cleanse and feel so much better, lighter and disciplined. I use my glucose meter too. I know it's the water diet can be a very good thing. You've got to do it under doctor supervision though. I did read a story of a woman who suffered from severe pain. She had migraines constantly. There wasn't a single minute that she didn't have pain. And fortunately for her, it doesn't work for everybody. Fortunately for her, it did. She actually did under medical supervision, severe medical supervision, because she did a water diet for I think it was 2 months. And it's interesting how the body goes through different cycles and gets used. You get to that period where you don't actually need food; you just carry on drinking water, and the body starts to actually heal itself. It's amazing. What the body can actually do it's absolutely incredible. But yeah, no, definitely do things like that under medical supervision, because it'd be crazy to do it without. 2 days, okay, but even maybe 5 days, but 2 months or something like that, nah. Definitely don't do that. Luke's so interesting, but if I'm fire in this life, does it mean it will be the strongest one, and I still can use 3 other elements? See, this is the thing, I don't think we have. We go through periods where we change, which is why we talk about elemental balancing exercises and techniques. You may be more inclined towards an element because it's just your disposition, your general disposition. But you're going to go through periods where you may have too much water and you become very emotional. You may go through periods where you are very aggressive and therefore you've got too much fire. You may go through periods where you just can't ground yourself because you have a complete lack of earth. So you go through all these cycles and periods, and it's not like an entire lifetime you're just going to be, on the side of one element. We are all the elements. Can't get away from that. we weren't, then we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be talking right now on the way we are. So, you know, it doesn't, you can't just be fire and have the 3 elements as sort of backup. It doesn't work that way. From a far rock, okay, gratitude, that's a pleasure. I don't know if it helped, but hope it did. Mimalek, I did my EV hit on my current opponent last Sunday evening, and I must admit the energy I took kept me waking up at night at 4:30 AM 2 nights in a row. I had to give that energy away on the 3rd night. Okay. As if I had an afterburner to high energy fuel. Well, you know, if you take too much energy on, you're going to, again, you're going to actually create an imbalance. So, you know, you've got to find ways to balance your energy, no matter where it's coming from or what it's doing. So yeah. Richard, I had to meditate with each element and then bring them all in balance before stabilizing again. Can't have an imbalance. No, you know, I think we kind of go through life. As I said, we have these periods where we do have an imbalance at times, and kind of like we are battling with life, and that's just the norm for the time, and we kind of don't realize it. So we then come to this point where we kind of realize we have this imbalance, and then we can sit down and we can actually work on it and do something. Connolly has an amazing, excellent elemental balancing exercise where you kind of you put them all into a box and you close it and you bury it. I can't remember exactly now, but then you take the box and you kind of fresh elements, and you pull them back into your body, and it's actually quite if you do it properly, it's an exhausting exercise, just to get rid of all the elements and then refresh them and pull them back in again in nice and balanced. This is why when we talk about circle casting and stuff, the question often comes up regarding the modern demonology circle casting. Is it protective? And no, it's not. It's actually balancing. You're actually calling in the elemental kings to balance the space elementally. And it's very similar to what you do with a Wiccan circle. You know, you call the watchtowers and you call in the elemental kings to balance the space. But then there's that extra element to it where you create a protective barrier and things like that, and create a sphere. So there's a bit extra there, but the same principle, calling the watchtowers and the elemental kings. I have a portion of the Rammstein video that's playing for this song, and it's Snow White spanking someone, which is very interesting. We have to go watch the video for this now. From a far away elemental, elevated mental. Yeah, I like that actually. But that would just be air, wouldn't it? Because that's your air elemental, or air element is your mental arena. Kerry, the minor arcana and tarot all correspond to the elements. If you want to learn more, yes, they do. Yeah, the 4 suits. It's not just the tarot either. It's normal playing cards. Yolanda, you can close the video while the music is playing. Yeah, let me actually do that. It's Snow White spanking someone. I've got to watch that. Richard, it's a very interesting video with Snow. It looks like, yeah, I haven't seen it. I have to go watch it later. From a far rock away, should have taught about elementary and the real elemental teachings in grade school, but they tricked us. Yeah, no. Elementary school doesn't have the elemental teachings, unfortunately. There's lots of they should teach in grade school, throughout the school career, that we missed. Yeah. How to create a balance sheet and do your accounting properly. Budgeting and all that stuff. They didn't teach us. Alright, let me go over here and we can see how many people are present. Ooh, that's very many. I don't think the graph has updated itself. I hope I'm coming through alright. It looks like I am. Okay. Little update. Kerry Lee, I got the most amazing tarot deck, the Antique Anatomy Tarot by Claire Goodchild, and I love it. Have you ever done an unboxing of tarot? I don't read tarot, I don't collect tarot, so I wouldn't do an unboxing. You know, if I have money to buy a tarot deck, I'll probably go buy a book. That's just me. You have a look for these though, what they look like. Anatomy Tarot. Oh right, here it is. I think this is it. Yes. That's quite cool. Love Potion number 1. Shouldn't it be Love Potion number 9? That was the song. Well, that is very cool. It's got like a spine and all the vertebrae, skulls. Oh, yeah. Very nice. Cool. Like it. Alright, chat's gone quiet. So if anybody is new to the Covenstead, this is to just get together and talk about whatever you want to talk about. No topic. If you've got any questions or comments or anything you want to share, this is a Covenstead. So, yeah. There's quite a few people there today. Yeah. I haven't heard this song in a long time. Hubris. Luke, another way you can balance your elements is through the LBRP and IRP. For example, you can invoke banish water only if you're feeling a deficiency in what that particular element. Yes, absolutely. So they are actually very good on an elemental basis. Really good rituals to do. You know, banish the elements first. But this is you might need to do the is it the greater rites? Oh, I hope there's greater pentagram rites, otherwise I'm going crazy. Because if you look at the LBRP, generally it only works with the earth pentagram, banishing earth pentagram, as far as I remember. I haven't done these exercises in a long time. You might want to actually work with the let me just make sure there are greater banishing rituals of the pentagram. Yes, the greater ritual of the pentagram is a fundamental ritual in ceremonial and thelemic magic. So with the greater rituals, as far as I remember, you are working specifically with the 4 elements, and then the active and passive what's the word? Well, apart from the active and passive spirit as well. And then you can banish the elements and then work specifically on the elements that you need to and pull in the amount of energy you actually need. So yeah, good advice there. But at the same time, if you haven't worked with those rituals before, you're going to have to take some time to actually get to know them, to understand them, go through all the motions, learn the motions, and then, to the point where you're doing it second nature and you're actually working with the energy yourself, rather than just, doing all the actions and saying the right words. It's about working with the energies. Kerry, the companion book is awesome too. Have you ever studied the Hebrew language? I'm terrible, absolutely terrible with languages. I actually decided at the beginning of this year I'm going to learn Greek this year, and I'll learn Hebrew next year. And was it Greek? No, sorry, I tried Greek before. It was Latin this year, and I can't grasp languages at all. Somebody told me there's a reason for that. I can't remember why. Anyway, but I just can't grasp languages. Over time, I kind of get used to particular words or Hebrew letters and things like that. But quite often, I need to go back to having a look at the actual alphabets and whatnot, because just doesn't sink in. I don't know why. Really don't know why. So yeah. James, hello James. You said hello. Don't know if you said hello yet. Anyway, Lee, I'm having trouble connecting with Hecate lately. She's been in my practice for over a year, yet it's almost like I forgot where the way to where she is outside of longer meditations. Any advice? Go to a crossroads, find a crossroads, or create a crossroads. If you're absolutely incapable of going to a crossroads because there's not one near you, you can't find one, there's not one you can travel to, then create a crossroads. And the way you would do that is basically just creating a quincunx. So a quincunx is 5 points. You have the center point, and then you have the 4 points that create like a square. This is the squared circle aspect. And then what you do is you draw in the energies from the points into the center. Another way you can do this, which is actually I find it better actually, is to just stand, become the axis mundi. So you've got a rod. You are above, below. You are the tree. And then if you're facing, I tend to face east when I do this because I usually start with east, is to project a line of energy out from your center, project it straight out into the east, and just keeps going off and off and off and off into the unknown distant. You kind of breathe that out